All right, so in this video is another client server video using some Python code. I have both the client code and the server code. And again, available on my GitHub, in my GitHub repository. Let me shrink this and let's run the code here. So similar to the first client server one, on the right here, I'm going to enter in a TCP port number. Now I do allow, it does, Mac OS does allow any port number from 1024 to 65,535. 0 to 1023 are known as well-known port numbers. And this requires special OS permissions, and you want to stay away from those. I'm going to start with port number 65,000. And again, if you're new to port numbers and that, this is just to kind of show the beginning, and we'll be talking about this more in my class. All right, so this server is going to be listening on port number 65,000. So let's take a look. What I'm showing you here is the IP address of the server, 10.0.0.129, and the port number we just said it's listening on. This is actually the netstat command I'm using Mac OS to generate the information that you see here. Now, this server, this computer, is the IPv4 is what we're using, TCP. Here's the IP address. Listening on port 65,000. See the state there? It's actually listening. It says, I'm waiting. I'm the server here. I'm waiting for some client to request my services. Let's go over here and request that service. So who do we want? We want 10.0.0.129. That's the IP address of the server. And specifically, what port number is that server listening on? Let's do 65,000 because that's what we chose over on the server. All right, going to hit enter here. Now, what I'm showing you before I hit enter here to make this connection, the local IP address of this device here is 172.16.1.100. That's the IP address of the client. This is the IP address of the server, 10.0.0.129. So I'm going to hit enter here, and then we'll explain the output. All right, when I hit enter here, again, the TCP three-way handshake was done. Talk about that in other videos. Okay, so it's telling me that our client at this IP address is connected to this server at with this port number. Okay, that's what we requested. All right, I'm seeing this information again using my Mac OS netstat command. We can see that this is my IP address of the client, and this is its source port. This is the port number that it chose, that this client chose to make this connection with. The destination port, the destination IP address, excuse me, is the IP address of the server, and this is the port number it's listening on. You can see that it's established. That means we have a connection. It made the TCP three-way handshake. Both the client and server have agreed to this connection. Let's go over here to the server. We can say, yes, somebody has made a connection with me. It is now connected to client. Here's that client's IP address and their port number. There's the rest of it there. We can see it better with this grep command here, this netstat filtered with the grep filter right there. And anyway, let's take a look here. This server is IP address 10.0.0.129, listening on port 65,000. That's the port we chose. It has established a connection with this client. Yes, that's us over here, and its source port. So going back the other way, this is the source port. Once it sends data back to the client, it's sending it from this port number and back to this destination port, which is the source port of the client. So we talk about this when we talk about the differences between source and destination ports. Okay, the source port, destination port leaving the client will be reversed. Just like when you send a letter to somebody, you send on the envelope your your address and in the left corner and the destination address in the middle, and it's reversed for letters coming back. Same thing here, like IP addresses, similar to how IP addresses. Anyway, what I want to also show you is this here. This server continues to listen on this port number in case there's other clients that wish to connect with it. Okay, but we've already established a connection between these two. I'm going to hit enter here. Okay, so a lot of stuff going on here, but what I've done here is I press enter to send data to the server. Okay, so I just sent data saying hello server. Let's go over here. So that's number 4. That's how I do number these so you can keep track. Number 4, sent hello server. So over here, number 5, received from the client, hello server. My turn to send data to the client. So we're going to, number 6 here, we're going to send hello client. Back from the server to the client. Over here, it says 7, right there, 7, received from the server, hello client. And then I closed the connections. Okay, so now we can see over here at the client end, it no longer has a connection like it did up here with the server. That is gone with this specific server. Over here, though, you can see that this server is back to saying, okay, I no longer have my connection with you. That connection is gone that we saw up here. It's gone, but I'm back to listening for anybody else. Okay. So I hope this shows you a little bit about the port numbers and establishing a connection and that sort of thing. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video.